Hello, this is the big one, isn't it? This is the big video. I have been doing online coaching. I've been working with fitness professionals for a long time. And this question comes up on my groups week after week after week after week. And I've always found it a really odd question because I've never had any problem charging for my services. Never find it a problem. I don't find it difficult. And I've always wondered why people they agonize over what to charge on everything. And I often find that so many fitness professionals just undercharge so massively. Because when you go in at a very low price, my goodness, it's so hard to then put your prices up. And when you've gone in low, it often attracts people that you don't want it to attract, and customers that become problematic and hassle and start to drain you. And then the whole, we're all so excited about launching Boogie Beat right now, but if you attract people that you don't gel with, because you've not charged enough, then the whole project becomes a real drain and it makes you unhappy and depressed and sad. And you actually start to not enjoy taking the classes anymore. So this video is crucial. I want you to really think about this very carefully. I want you to sit down and do some planning. And I want you, with your hand on your heart, to really have some self-confidence here. I'll give you a few personal experiences. I have been, since I've had my little boy, I have been amazed at the amount that people will spend on their children. Amazed. All of these groups that I've been to are not cheap. They're not cheap. They're not £2 and £3. You have to sign up for a course. You often swimming lessons, gymnastics, tumble tots, singing, baking, creative play, all of these things that mums and parents sign up for with their little ones always are courses and often are in excess of £10 or £11. Now, I don't live in a particular affluent area, and that's the one thing that people always say to me, but I live in the north and people in the south, it's just so much easier for the people in the south. You have the same department stores, you have the same shops, we have the same, the same brands all over the UK. If people want your service, they will pay for it. They will. And you just think, if you're going to go to the gym yourself and you take your little one to the gym, you've got to pay for the creche, you've got to pay for a kids club membership, you have to pay for your membership. When you actually add it up, and remember, we are saving people so much time. Time is what people will pay for. If you are saving people time and energy and effort, they will pay for it. Always, they'll pay for it as a premium. You have to look at yourself as a professional person here running a professional operation. If you charge too little, people see you as the cheap offering. They really do. They see you as the cheap alternative. They don't take your services seriously. They really won't. So I want you to think about the money that you have spent on this course, and not just this course. So many of you have been with me on lots of other courses in the past. You've followed me, you've been to workshops. I know that you take your business and your education very, very seriously. So again, you have to charge and know that you are providing such an amazing service. And as we go on through these modules, you'll see this doesn't have to be just a one live a week class. You can build into this nutrition. You can add a nutritional component to this. You'll have a Facebook group where you're giving updates and news and support and help and camaraderie. It's not like back in the olden days where there was just one standalone class. You are packaging up so much more value now, you really are. Think of all the qualifications that you have. Think of all the time that you have spent upskilling yourself. Think of the time that you spend on your laptop, working on social media, doing your Facebook ads, doing your research, making sure that everybody is happy and supported and motivated. It's not just that 45 minutes that you do the class. There's so much more to this. So let's take a blank sheet of paper. Let's have a little sit down and let's do a bit of a business plan here. So if we are sitting in another year's time, what do you want to achieve? What do you want to achieve financially? At the end of every week, how much profit do you want to make? Now, I do this all of the time. And if you are now starting this business from scratch, what do you want to earn? How much do you want to earn at the end of the week? And that's really important that you write that down, you see that figure, and it's real, for your Buggy Beat classes. What do you want to earn? It's very important that you actually sit down and start to do some planning. Now, what is your business plan? Do you want to earn more money in the daytime? Do you want to do more in the daytime? If so, then how much do you want to make in the daytime? If you want to cut down your evenings and put more energy into daytime, then again, write it down. What is your plan? Do you want to be spending more time online? Do you want to be spending more time doing live classes? Do you want to be doing seminars, workshops? Do you want to be doing different styles of classes? Write it all down. Get a business plan going. Download your brain and work out, what do you want to do? Whenever you embark on any new project, any new class, think about this. Are you still going to be in love with this format, this theme, in another 3 months, in another 6 months, in another year? You have got to be, feel that excitement, feel that passion that, you wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, I know I do, and think, right, I'm really excited to get this going and to get it up and going and up and running. And when things get tough, and always in business, it's never linear. There'll be zigs and there'll be zags. There'll be days when everything goes so brilliantly well for you. And then there'll be other days when things, somebody might write a comment card about you, or somebody stops coming for a particular reason. And because we're very sensitive people and we love what we do and we want to help everybody, it can really knock your confidence at times, and it knocks your confidence for a couple of days, even weeks. But we have to accept that that is part of being in business. That's part of being in a fitness business. We can't be all things to all people. There are going to be people that come to your Buggy Beat class, that come to any of your classes, and are going to love everything that you do. And then there are going to be some people that come to your classes and you're not their cup of tea, and that is fine too. And I think for many of us, what is sometimes quite hurtful and can let us get upset is when people have loved you and they come to everything and they're so enamored by everything you do, they've had amazing results, then for some reason they just stop coming. And it could be a myriad of different reasons. They just want to try something else. They just want to go in a different direction. They think that they've, got everything that you can offer, and they go in a different way. And that can be very hurtful, and we let that colour how we feel sometimes. Don't let it. Accept it. That is going to happen. That is going to happen. That is human nature, and people are fickle. They do jump on the next trend. At the moment, everybody wants to do Buggy Beat, but in a few months, there might be something else that pops up in your town that people want to go to. It's human nature, and when you accept that and understand that is how it works in fitness, you will give yourself such an easier time. Hence, with any of your fitness classes or offerings, you've always got to keep putting people into your ecosystem, because naturally people will disperse. They'll stop, they'll get a job, they will go to a different class, their circumstances will change, they might just get bored with it, they might get fed up with it. There's always going to be natural wastage. So you always need to keep putting people into your ecosystem. And so every week, you're working on getting people that ask you questions and have information. Get them into a group, get them into the group so they can see what's going on, and then they can feed into your live classes. So going back to how much are you going to charge? Set yourself a business plan. How much do you currently earn? How much do you want to earn? How many hours a week do you physically want to teach a class? You know, that's important. How many hours a week do you physically want to get out the house and teach? And remember, it's not just the hour that you do your Buggy Beat class, it's going to be your travel time. You know, if you're going to be buying bands and resistance bands and getting your music organised and going out and find a route and a recce, you need to factor all that in. How many people do you want to get every single week? Do you want to get 10 people, 15 people, 20 people? No. Have a goal on how many people that you want to get per session and then work it out. I mean, Buggy Beat is phenomenal because there's no limit to the amount of people that you can get, which is fantastic. We've got a ready pool of people in your area that want to come and do it. It's a class that's very of the now. The branding looks good. It's awesome on social media. People love to see the videos, you know, and it's a very hot potato right now. So it's great to capitalize on this at the moment. But as I've said in other videos, every single person that leaves a comment, get their email address, talk to them personally, send them a DM, make sure that they're coming at the beginning of a week. You know, message everybody in the group, tell them where the group is going to meet, give them some, you know, you need to make it really worth their while that they're going to clear their morning, they're going to come because it's so beneficial to them. You know, you've got to create that buzz all the time, and that can get tiring. You know, you need to factor all that in. You know, you need to be very confident about your product. You really do. This product is a life changer for so many people. I know I always go back to my own circumstances when I couldn't get out to the gym when I'd first had Logan. Just to go to a class like this would have been phenomenal. It would be a lifesaver. And I know that's going to be a lifesaver for so many people in your area. So again, you have to charge accordingly. So work out what you want to make per session, work out what you want to earn over a week, over a month, and then over a year. And with Buggy Beat, you've also got to factor in, are you going to run this in term time and not holidays, or are you going to run it all the way through? So that's your decision. If you've got holidays booked, perhaps you're not going to run this in December, maybe you're not going to run it in August, or whenever you have your holidays, or look at the school calendar. For me, that's a little bit difficult because where I live, I straddle two counties, Nottinghamshire and Derbyshire, and both have different holidays, which has been crazy. So over the Easter break, I ran my Buggy Beat class every single week because I was here anyway. And the numbers were really good because both counties were off at different times. You know, do a recce, find out in your area where your people, where they go to school, what the holidays, and of course if you've got private schools and state schools, they all have different holidays. So you've got to decide, are you going to run this to a particular county's timetable or term time, or your children, if you're running this around your business, which I know most of you are, many of you are. Again, make a decision at the beginning. That's important. So you're almost setting your ground rules. Your Buggy Beat class will run from this date to this date. You'll be off on this date and you'll continue. For at least, you want to put that down in your terms and conditions in your groups for at least, I don't know, at least 3 months, 12 months, 3 months, 12 weeks, not 4 months. So tell people when you're going to be available for sure. So again, work it out. So if you work out how many weeks you're actually going to be physically earning. So it's not going to be 52 weeks of the year. It's probably going to be something like 42 weeks of the year, maybe 44 weeks of the year. You decide. And again, that needs to be factored in to your fees. It really does. So the age-old question, pay as you go versus buying a course. Well, for a business, if you are setting your stall out to run a good, strong, profitable, successful and sustainable business, I would highly recommend that you sell your Buggy Beat class in blocks. So you might sell 6 sessions or 10 sessions that can be redeemed within a certain amount of time. And if you are offering an option for pay-as-you-go, that pay-as-you-go needs to be higher than your weekly course, your program, your course, your block bookings. So you're giving people 2 options. pay-as-you-go option, which is going to be higher. And then, of course, you want to be, really rewarding people that have booked in advance and paying advance and are committed. You want that commitment. Now, as a mom, as a business operator, it's so much more advantageous for you to sell your Buggy Beat course as a course. So 8 sessions, 6 sessions, 8 sessions, or 10 sessions. Again, this is going to be down to you on your business goals. And that is the way for your business to be successful and sustainable and profitable. It really is. But from a mum standpoint, I know how difficult it is to commit, which is why I personally wouldn't sell a date, a term time from this date to that date, because inevitably, as a parent, things do come up. So I think it's better to offer a higher priced pay as you go. So the people that perhaps can't always commit to a long duration are still going to come. You're still going to get them. I know that as a mom, I wouldn't buy a particular course. There are so many courses that I went to with Logan that I didn't go for because they were a particular date range and I knew I couldn't commit. And I've wasted so much money on swimming lessons because I couldn't commit to something every single week. Now, if I'd have bought a cook, because I loved a soccer course that we went to, but you had to buy a course, a term, and I couldn't commit to that, but I would have definitely have bought 10 lessons that could have been redeemed over a period of time, if that makes sense. But they didn't offer a pay-as-you-go, so I didn't go. So they lost me as a pay-as-you-go client. So for Buggy Beat, I would sell 4, 6, 8, or 10 classes to be redeemed within, 12 weeks or 6 months, your choice, and definitely a higher price pay-as-you-go. Now, pay-as-you-go, what you're going to charge? Well, just think of the money that you are saving people, because there is no childcare. You're saving on dropping kids off. I think anything from £7 to £15. You definitely don't want to be the cheapest in your area. Of course, you can be too expensive, but anywhere from £7 to £14, £15, depending on where you are in the country, how you feel. And again, do this with confidence. Don't be too cheap. If you are £3 or £4 pay as you go, my gosh, it's going to be so difficult to make a living. It's going to be so difficult to hit your targets. Then if you are selling, again, 6, 8, 10 week blocks, you want to have a reduction for people that buy a block of classes, depending on what your pay-as-you-go rate is. Does that make sense? Now, that's just for the class. If you are factoring in a weight loss element, which you can run online, and in Module 2, we'll be looking at all of the weight loss elements that you'll be able to offer, then you can either include that in the fee, or that can be an additional service. So you have a Facebook group with all prospects, everybody that's ever inquired about Buggy Beat, everybody that comes to the class, you put them in one group, and that's where you'll upsell your weekly sessions. That's where you'll inform people of what's going on, you'll tell them where you're meeting, what they need. Anybody that inquires, pop them in that group, that secret group, messenger group, or WhatsApp group. And then again, if anybody wants additional services, if they want to do weight loss with you, you can then charge them accordingly and put them in another Facebook group where you can then upload weight loss information to them. So it's up to you. It really is. But don't go too cheap. Don't go too cheap. Have a higher price to pay as you go. And then I would personally have a 10-week block. I would just offer 2 things: pay as you go and a 10-week block of classes that can be redeemed within a 3 or 4 months period. Now, for this video, I want to know what you are going to charge for your pay as you go and what you are going to charge for a block booking of classes. Let me know. If this is still a struggle for you, post in the group. We need to make sure that you are super confident and really proud of your business and your services. So look at this as a long-term business that you're going to be investing in. Potentially, you could have other people working for you delivering Buggy Bee. This is such a growth area. It really is. So make sure that you're not underpricing yourself. So